Economic hardship. Tinubu reveals actual month Nigerian sufferings will end. Hello viewers and welcome to InfoGist TV. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu says Nigerians should expect the economy to roar back to glory by December 2024. He also called for unity of purpose and deeper collaborations among the federal government, state governors, and members of the National Assembly to achieve national development goals. Our economy has turned the corner. In the coming months, the economy will roar back to glory. By December, I hope we will have the cause to celebrate. Tinubu said this when he received state governors and the leadership of the National Assembly, who paid him a courtesy visit in Lagos. The President's Special Advisor on Media and Publicity, Ajuri Ngalale, disclosed details of these talks in a statement titled President Tinubu to Governors and National Assembly Leadership. Let us unite to make Nigeria greater. Vice President Kashim Shettima, who spoke on behalf of the President, expressed optimism about Nigeria's economic resurgence and called for collective efforts to propel the nation forward. In his words, Shettima stated, "Let us unite, rally around our leader, and catapult this nation to a greater pedestal. By December, I hope we will have a reason to celebrate. Let us take the nation to a greater pedestal." He also cited the assembly of 27 governors, the NAS leadership, and some former governors in Lagos as a testament to Tinubu's role as a unifying leader transcending ethnic and religious lines. These gatherings cuts across ethnic, religious, and political lines. Here we have Pastor Eno of Akwa Ibom and Father Hyacinth of Benue, and as the president was seated, he was asking, "Where is Wamako? Where is Yari?" That is the hallmark of true leadership. What binds us together supersedes whatever it is that may divide us, the vice president stated. Senate President Akpabio praised state governors for listening to diverse voices and consulting across political affiliations, a trait that he said mirrors President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's leadership style. Akpabio, who voiced support for a second term for the president, affirmed that Tinubu enjoys the support of a broad base of Nigerians across political dividends and divides. He prayed, "As you coast home to victory for a second term, may all the governors seated here also coast home to a second term victory in their states." In his remarks, the chairman of the Nigerian Governors Forum, Abdulrahman Abdulrazik of Kwara State, expressed support for the 700 kilometers Lagos to Calabar Coastal Highway, describing it as a huge project that will significantly impact the nation when completed. He also cited the stabilizations of the exchange rate and decreasing food prices as part of Tinubu's efforts to stabilize the economy and improve living conditions for Nigerians. Abdulrazik attributed these improvements to the president's initiatives and also lauded the Federal Ministry of Health and Social Welfare's funding for 8,800 primary health care centers. In his words, "We commend your efforts because the ship is gradually turning. We have seen how the exchange rate of the naira against the dollar is coming down. The cost of food is coming down. The dry season harvest is commencing soon. Things are getting better. There is light at the end of the tunnel," the governor stated. Therefore, he urged President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to persevere towards achieving economic stability. The governor also thanked the federal government for the support given to states, especially in distributing grains to alleviate food shortages. He said, "We are here to support you, and we also thank you for the support that you are giving to the subnationals. Trucks are wheeling up across the nation distributing grains. I have received, and most of the states have. Because of what you are doing, those who are hoarding food items are releasing them, and that is why the prices of food are coming down." Governor Abdulrazik restated the governor's commitment to supporting the president's initiatives and pledged to continue complementing the federal government's efforts in driving progress and prosperity across the nation. Led by Vice President Kashim Shettima, the delegation included Senate President Godswill Akpabio, the Speaker of the House of Representatives, Tajuddin Abbas, and the Governor Abdulraham Abdulrazik, among others. We should recall that in February 2024, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu directed mandatory recitations of the pledge immediately after the national anthem at every official and public engagement. According to Mr. President, the directive is aimed at ensuring absolute respect for the national symbols, strengthening allegiance and fidelity to the country, and preserving Nigerians' ethos and defining character. Now, on Monday, March 22, as of Monday, March 22, we should recall 2024, that at a gathering in Abuja, Tinubu urged Nigerians to patronize homemade goods to strengthen the value of local currency. The president also told the nation that the federal government was making efforts to ensure that the naira becomes stronger against foreign currencies. It has been observed that most Nigerians prefer to patronize foreign goods instead of locally made goods. The reason is quite obvious, that most Nigerians believe that foreign goods are much better than locally made products. This shows that we lack patriotism. In his words, I would like to back up the statement with 3 examples. The first example is about textile industries that have become moribund. We should recall that between the early 1970s and the late 1990s, the country had the best textile industry in the world of Africa. There were textile industries in Lagos, Kaduna, and Kano states. Moreover, the country had granaries in Zaria, Kaduna State. These textile industries employ thousands of workers, but suddenly in the late 1990s, they all became moribund. So what happened to these industries? Your guess is as good as mine. There was an obnoxious policy that allowed the importation of used clothes, popularly known as okrika. The markets were flooded with imported clothes and our people started purchasing them, eventually leading to the collapse of our textile industries. Thousands of workers lost their jobs. Efforts made by successive administrations to revamp the ailing industries have proved abortive. One of the lessons learned from the death of the textile industry is the advantage of patronizing homemade goods. Furthermore, we should realize that anything we purchase and anytime we purchase foreign goods, we are creating more jobs outside the country to the detriment of our local markets, and this will put a lot of pressure on the naira. Again, we should always make sure that our locally made goods meet international standards so that they can be easily exported, and by so doing we'll be making a lot of foreign exchange. The second example has to do with the production of the National Economic Empowerment Development Strategy document. We should also recall that during the Olusegun Obasanjo's administration, a vital policy document needs were prepared. The public officials who were saddled with the responsibility of preparing those documents traveled outside the shores of the Nigeria to get the document prepared. First and foremost, this document could have been prepared here in Nigeria, considering the fact that we have capable experts in the country. Secondly, the so-called foreign experts were oblivious of our economy, culture, and tradition. Therefore, they could not do a thorough job. Sadly, the policy document is now lying on shelves gathering dust. The third example is about one of the newly created ministries that has requested a foreign expert to assist in developing viable policies for its smooth takeoff. This action to me is unpatriotic because we do not have many learned professors here in Nigeria that could do a better job. I've repeatedly emphasized that government policies, be it socio-economic or foreign, must be homegrown. A couple of years ago, the Central Bank of Nigeria removed about 43 items from the list of items that were supposed to be imported into the country. And the reason the CBN gave was that those items could be produced locally. That was a right step in the right directions. The secret behind the success of most developed countries is that their citizens always patronize and purchase homemade goods. A couple of years ago also, I had the privilege of traveling to India on a World Bank training program. We visited some notable companies as part of our TATA, that is Tata, which was one of them. This is where they manufacture their vehicles. About 90% of their vehicles are produced locally, and this has contributed immensely to the economic prosperity. Now, we need to imbibe the spirit of patriotism in this country if we really want our economy to grow. It has been in the news lately that our so-called public officials, whose policies and actions ought to be patriotic, have decided to do otherwise. And in addition, they have also been alleged to have unrestrained taste for products manufactured outside the shores of Nigeria. This is unpatriotic. Let us make all use of what we have to produce, what we need. We should be able to promote made in Nigerian goods no matter what. And our public officials are supposed to set good examples so that the rest of us can follow suit. The federal government should enact a law making it mandatory for all Nigerians, irrespective of social status, to patronize and purchase made in Nigerian goods. The government should also develop and implement policies that will promote Nigerians' non-oil export and create an enabling environment for businesses to thrive. One of the major challenges we face in this country is an erratic power supply. Power is very critical for any business to thrive. Awareness and sensitization programs are very important if we really want people to patronize made in Nigerian goods. And finally, all hands must be on deck to revive our ailing economy.